Hi everyone, this is Heather. I have a quick website tip for you today, but first, if you're wondering what I've been up to lately, you can visit our personal YouTube channel at homesteadheather.tv. If you're wondering behind the scenes and what I'm working on, I post a lot of personal things over there. It's just a lot of fun, so you should definitely check it out. I'm just gonna wait for a few of you to jump on. Hi Amanda, good morning, and let me know that you can hear me and see me. Everything's good, right? I have a quick website tip today, and also I would love it if you had any questions about your websites, if you want to ask those. And this is also my weekly Q&A, so if you have any general questions, I would be happy to answer those as well, so just let me know. Okay, I want to give you 7 quick tips for the About page on your website. Did you know that the About page is the second most visited page on your website? So people go to your site and they want to learn about you. But more importantly, they want to learn what you can do for them. So if you have a piece of paper or a notebook, I have 7 quick tips for your About page. Are you ready? Number 1, you should tell a story. The human brain gets really connected with stories, and it's an easy way to identify and remember. So if you can tell a story about maybe why you're into photography, and you should really be connected with your why. Leanne and I were just talking about this, why you do what you do. A lot of reasons might be, or some of the reasons might be your family or your children or something that you really value. Get connected with that why and then frame it in a story, and people will really remember that. So that's number 1. Number 1 is tell a story. Number 2 is to showcase your personality. So a lot of people are afraid to do this, so they just come across as very, boring. And you need to not be boring. You need to showcase your personality because it is the best asset that you have, and it is your biggest differentiating factor. So make sure that you're showcasing who you are. Now the reason you're afraid to do this, or at least most people are, is they want to appeal to everyone. But you should either appeal to people or not. There should really be no middle ground. They should love you or hate you. So you might turn some people away by showcasing your personality, but then there are going to be people that are really, really attracted to you. So that's number 2, showcase your personality. Number 3 is to show and tell and make it visually appealing and unique. I mean, you're a photographer, right? So you better have some pretty photos on that page, and they better be of you. There is nothing worse than a photographer who has like a cell phone snap of themselves on their website. That is not professional, and it doesn't send the proper message. If you are a photographer, that means you know photographers, you had better have a killer headshot to post. It better look really, really good. People want to see you, and they want to see how you value photography and art and who you use to take your photo. So make sure that you have a really good photo of yourself and showcase it everywhere. Number 4 is to include social proof. So social proof is really just a fancy way of saying put a testimonial, make it small and brief, and maybe somehow figure out a way to visually set it apart from the rest of the information, and just short, to the point, but some social proof that like other people use you, they know you, and they like you. So that's number 4, social proof. Number 5 is to break the mold and do something different. And so then the next question is going to be, okay, well, what is that? Well, if it's breaking the mold and it's different, then I don't know what it is. You have to come up with it. That's what it means to be different. I don't know. Shake things up a little bit and post something that other people aren't doing. I've heard Leanne say this and others say it as well, but if everyone is zigging, I want to figure out a way to zag. So just do something different. And I don't know what that's going to be for you, but if you are looking at other photographers' websites in order to get a gauge or an idea of what people are posting in their About page, you're looking in the wrong place. I would recommend aiming at different markets to see how they're using their About page and do something they're doing. Don't do what all of the other photographers are doing, because that doesn't set you apart. Number 6 is to be memorable. The worst thing you can be is forgettable. And if you come across very plain and boring, then you're forgettable. But if you do something that's really memorable, whether people love it or hate it, they will remember you. There's no such thing as bad advertising, right? So I have a picture of my family with my chickens on my About page because I love my chickens. It's a part of who I am. So people are either gonna love that or hate it, but it's out there, and you can be fabulous and have chickens because I've proven it. That was number 6, be memorable. And the last one, number 7, is to include a value proposition. And a value proposition is your way of focusing on your client. Focus on others, not yourself. And that just says to the person who's visiting your About page what you can do for them. Because the truth is, they're not really coming to your About page to learn about you. Well, yes, to some degree they are. But for the most part, they're coming to your About page so they can figure out what you can do for them. So your first couple of sentences should be framed in a way that you're talking to the client, so it's not all about you. So a value proposition just says, here's what I can do for you, here's what I can provide, and here's why. And you tell that through your story. So those are 7 quick tips to improve your About page. If you don't have an About page, you better create it today because it is the 2nd most visited page on your website. People want to see you, they want to connect with you, and they want to be able to build rapport. And the more information you give them, the better, the more material they have to build that rapport. Now, don't misunderstand me. I have seen About pages that go on and on and on and on and on, and paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs about this person from the day they were born. They picked up a camera and it's fantastic, but nobody cares. Nobody is reading it, not that much. Get connected with why you do what you do and share it with your client. Tell a story. So I'm going to recap those really quickly for anyone who just joined. I'm giving 7 quick tips to improve the About page on your website. Number 1, tell a story. Get connected with why you're doing it. Number 2, showcase your personality. Number 3, show and tell, meaning make it visually appealing and unique. Number 4, include social proof, a testimonial. Number 5, break the mold and do something different. Number 6, be memorable. And number 7, include some type of value proposition. And I'm going to post a link to a really good site that has a ton of information on this and also a fantastic About page. In fact, their About page is ranked as one of the 10 best on the internet. I'm not sure who ranks these things, but it's Copy Blogger, and I'll post the link below at the end of the interview. But if you go to Copy Blogger's website, I'm going to post a specific link to an article they have on the About page, but then I want you to also go visit their About page and just see how they do. I mean, it's Copy Blogger, right? So they know good copy. So you should study that type of thing rather than studying all of the other photographers and reading their About pages. Let's kick it up a notch and look at a different industry that really understands good copy. And of course, I'm bringing this to you because on the forefront of my mind is building a good website. I've worked on 2 websites this week with photographers, both in the content as well as the technical aspect. And Leanne has a workshop coming up on August 1st here at our homestead. It's called Be Remarkable, a guide to beautiful client-friendly websites. Monday, August 1st from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Leanne is an expert of this. Go look at her website. She's always been cutting edge and moving forward with like new trends and what looks good and what's appealing and how to really reach your client. And this is not a technical workshop where she gets into WordPress code or HTML. She does cover WordPress, but this is more about creating an amazing website. It's excellent. I have the lesson plan as well as the presentation and outline. It is fantastic. Monday, August 1st, there are still spots remaining, and I will post a link. But I can't do that while I'm talking. But if you're on the page in the Weddings by Heather group, at the very top where it says events, if you click that link, it will take you to the event page where all of the workshops are listed. And one thing that this was kind of an added benefit to these workshops that didn't even occur to me, and I don't think it occurred to Leanne either, but when she teaches them here, I am always present. And so she teaches her content, which is excellent, and then I can provide feedback in terms of how I am utilizing whatever area she's talking about. But occasionally we have different perspectives about it. So it's really awesome to hear her perspective and then my take on the same thing and how we're both using it to work for us, because I would consider us both somewhat successful. So that's a really good benefit. And Chrissy says, does she think she'll offer it again? I'm worried I'm going to be too pregnant to take it. Well, the way we've been running these workshops is that if and when it fills, we'll add another date. So that's kind of how we've been approaching it. So I won't know until that one fills, and then I'll add another one. The workshop is excellent for beginners, Crystal. I think everyone needs it. I've learned something from it, so seasoned veterans as well as beginners. And I'm thinking for a beginner, it's really beneficial, because why not start out on the right foot, right, with good information instead of making mistakes and fumbling all the way. So absolutely. I'm even recommending it to some of the clients that I mentor that don't have websites yet. They haven't even started yet, because I want them to get all of this information. But then I have other clients that I've been mentoring for 5 and 10 years that I'm saying, hey, you have to take this workshop and sort of refresh and, more importantly, refine your website. So I really do believe that it's for all levels. And I don't always say that. You know, there are some classes that I teach that are not for all levels, but this is definitely one of them. So let me know if you have any questions regarding your website, your about page, the workshop, whatever, or any additional questions. Is it Thursday already? It's Thursday already. The week goes by so quickly. And then I realize I need to jump on here for a Q&A. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Just let me know what you're thinking. Again, I'm going to post a link to Copyblogger below, where I think you should look at their idea behind a good about page. I don't think that there is one solution that works perfectly for everyone. There are some people that try to come up with formulas for the about page, and they're really good. A few of them are really good, like the value proposition one. There are formulas for creating a value proposition, but that doesn't mean that it suits everyone. It really depends on a lot of things, including your style of photography and your personality. But you better be sure to showcase that personality, because shy people starve, and if people don't know you, they cannot connect with you. And the more ways and reasons you give them to connect, the better. And if you start asking your clients, number one, how they found you, but number two, why they selected you, you'll start to hear some interesting answers, and I bet some of them will be related to your website and your about page. For instance, I had a bride hire me once solely because my website was pink. And she loved pink, and her bedroom was pink, and she had a chandelier in pink, and everything was pink, and I loved her wedding. It was all pink. So we got along just fine. And then I've had other people hire me because I love Jesus. And then other people say, oh, I like your homestead or your chickens. And I give them a lot of ways and reasons to connect with me. I point all of my clients to my personal YouTube channel as well. You should subscribe. It's homesteadheather.tv, and I just post randomness from the homestead, but it gives them a reason to connect with me. Now again, that doesn't mean everyone is going to like me. In fact, some people will think, oh, I don't like chickens and I'm not a fan of Jesus, so she's not for me. That's okay. They'll find someone else. Oh, Chrissy says she loves when they quote her video. It makes her happy. Yeah, because then you know that it mattered, it had impact, and that they were watching, right? Charlene said, this is where I take advantage of having a giant dog. People love him. People love animals, especially dogs, Charlene. You're right. They will, you know that there are people that you wouldn't maybe connect with on any other level except they love animals, and you have a dog and they'll talk to you. I mean, somebody walking down the street will have a dog and you'll talk to that person, but if they didn't, you wouldn't. Isn't that interesting? Dogs bring people together, for sure. Chickens, not as much. I wish people are interested in chickens. They ask me a lot of questions about chickens, but I don't think they love them as much as dogs. They mostly ask me how chickens procreate and eggs get fertilized, and then when and how you eat them and whatnot. But that's a story for a different day. Do you have any other questions or thoughts around your website, your about page, anything photography related, homestead related, anything I can help you with? Because if not, I'm going to run. I'll have a mentoring session this afternoon that I'm really excited about. I have a chocolate zucchini cake that I need to bake because we have tons of zucchini in the garden. I am teaching Passionately Faithful tonight at our house. That's our marriage group that I've been leading. I shouldn't say teaching. I do not teach that group. I lead that group. I just bring us together because I'm no expert on it, but I find resources and then we work through them together. So just as an aside, the last book we read was by Fawn Weaver, and it was 28 Days to an Argument-Free Marriage, How to Love the Spouse That You Already Have. But she's funny. I thought it was funny. It's a great book. You should check it out. Connie loves her chickens. Thank you. Amber says chickens need love too. That is true. And Chelsea says she jumped on late, but what platform do you use to create your websites? I'm currently using WordPress, and so is Leanne. And a lot of people that I work with are using WordPress because it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere, and it has all of the plugins, and there are more options in terms of themes and designs with it. So a lot of people I work with use the following. They have their .com domain purchased through GoDaddy along with their hosting, and they have a pro photo back end with some sort of template or theme on top of it. I know a lot of people that do not use ProPhoto. I have a couple of websites. One is ProPhoto, two are not. So I use both. Yesterday I was working in ProPhoto 6, which is amazing, very customizable, but so different from ProPhoto 5. So it's a completely different engine, and it's a little bit of a learning curve, but you can figure it out. They have great tutorials. So that's a good way to go. Also, I was working with a client earlier this week who needed to build a website, and we jumped on GoDaddy and we bought her domain name, her .com, and we got hosting for her. Economy hosting at GoDaddy right now is $5.49 a month plus your domain, which is anywhere between $11 and $15 per year. So her cart total was like $77 or something, and I did some quick searching for a coupon code. Don't ever, ever, ever pay full price on GoDaddy. Sorry, GoDaddy. But after finding a coupon code, we got her .com domain name and a year's worth of hosting, which I just said was $5.49 a month, a year's worth of hosting and a domain name for $12. Yes! She was so happy. I was thrilled. We got her all lined out. We installed WordPress, which is free, and you can also find free templates for WordPress until you want to take the next step and maybe purchase a template that matches your brand. Hopefully that helps. Chelsea says that's what she's always used, ProPhoto, just wish it were a bit simpler. Yeah, and she loves a good deal. Who doesn't? I was so happy about that. Don't ever pay full price on GoDaddy. The smallest coupon I've ever had has been 10% off, and the biggest has been 93% off, so you can find great deals. Any last minute questions? Anything I can help you with, let me know. I'm going to post a couple of links, and I'll talk to you guys soon.